Hello everyone, thanks for joining me today. My name is Yvonne Heath with Love Your Life to Death, and I'm so thrilled to have in the studio two very amazing women. Sandra Holdsworth, who is the Canadian Transplant Association provincial representative, spends a great deal of time volunteering to bring light to organ donation. And Sherry Pepler is here sharing her most personal story of the journey she was on with her husband Bob, who was not only an organ recipient once but twice, and an incredible journey, and they're here to share their stories. Here's a quick clip. You are the voice of organ donation, and I welcome you.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, well, I am very passionate about organ donation. I feel that it is an incredible gift, and obviously you have your own story as to why it is a great gift. And can you just tell me a bit about your story?
Yeah, so I've always believed in organ and tissue donation, but it wasn't something that was top of my mind. I was sick since I was 18 years old, but I never knew why. So after 10 years of tests and being told it was in my head, or it was my diet, or it was stress, I was diagnosed with a liver disease. So it was a rare liver disease. And I was told at the time I was 28, by the time I'm 40 or 50, which when you're 28 seems like a long way away, that I would require a transplant. So at the time, I was with my girlfriend, and she says, well, why aren't you so scared and why aren't you so upset? And I said, because it took me 10 years to get this and to be told. And when you're told for so long that there's nothing wrong with you and you know there's something wrong with you, it was frustrating. And I joked too, because I was down in Toronto and I still had to drive back up to Barrie. So we never know when our life is going to end, so I try to make the most of it. So then, I started getting sick, but, I've always been a heavy person, so I was losing weight. But the other thing is, losing weight, so people say, oh, you look good, you're dieting, right? But then I started getting yellow, right? And
Yellow's not good.
Yeah, and I'm fair skinned, so when people ask me if I'd been away, like in May, like if I was tan and stuff, so I knew the symptoms were coming worse than that. And at the same time, I was also diagnosed with Crohn's disease. So my liver disease, which is primary sclerosing cholangitis, which we just refer to as PSC to make it easier for you. It's sort of known to come with Crohn's disease, right? So I found it a lot easier telling people I had Crohn's disease, even though you're talking about your digestive system, because I found that there was a real misunderstanding about liver disease. So if you had liver disease, you are obviously an alcoholic or a drug user. And so started working with the Liver Foundation for support, and then I ended up being a volunteer. And I found out there's 100 different reasons you can get liver disease, and alcoholism is only one.
So we're here now with Sherry Pepler. Hello, Sherry.
Hi.
Thank you so much for being here today. So the question I asked before the break was, how many lives can one organ donor save? And the answer is?
Up to 8 lives.
Up to 8 lives.
Yeah.
And enhance 75.
Yeah.
And so by enhance, what does that mean? Just
it can make their lives better in terms of maybe they weren't going to die, but maybe they needed some skin tissue, or they needed something like that. So their lives can be improved.
Right.
But in my opinion, it's actually, the number's much larger, because organ donation actually saves families. So depending how big your family is, the number is limitless, right?
Absolutely. And that's... You speak to that because you know only too well what it can do and how it can change not only a recipient's life but their family. So you are married to Bob, and I would love, and you were high school sweethearts.
Yes, we were.
How long have you been married?
We've been married 11 years, coming up 12 years.
Okay, and so can you tell me the story of what happened when, well, you had a baby?
Yeah, so in 2007, we had our daughter Sarah in March 31st, 2007. Shortly after that, about 5 weeks actually, Bob became really sick. And at first I didn't really know that he was sick. So we thought he was just a little bit extra tired because we had a new baby. Yeah, we had a new baby, and nobody was sleeping, and nobody really knew what was going on.
Sure.
So I believe it was a Sunday morning, and he wouldn't get out of bed, and I was like up with the baby all night nursing, and then I was like, okay, I'll take her for a walk. We went out in the stroller. We came back around noon or so, and he was still in bed, and I remember being a little ticked off, going, why are you still in bed?
Yeah, are you
not
kidding?
Fair. So I went into the room, and I yelled at him to get up, and he's like, I don't know, I'm just so tired. But eventually got up, he went to the washroom, and he came out of the washroom, and he's like, is it really bad if your urine is tea color? And I'm like, well, that doesn't sound normal. And he was kind of up the stairs, so I couldn't see him. So he came down the stairs, and I looked at him, and he was completely yellow. So he was full out jaundice.